still up by around 0.2%.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I got my YouTube stuff working. My tag is Mike P. Silva, same as my X, previously known as Twitter. Mike P. Silva, you can add me. I don't know how to find people and really do too much on that. I just figured out how to get this thing set up. I'm going to get into the newsroom here. Yes, we're going to be looking at stocks, but we're also going to play a little bit of Fortnite. We're going to look at the markets first, and then we'll have some games going. I'm going to play solos at the beginning, and then if maybe if I can figure out how to somebody to join. The only problem is I don't know how the mic and everything
so the
works.
USL 6-week bills, high rate 3.585%.
Let's go into the desktop tiny cam. We're going to take a look at the markets before we get into fun and games. We'll be kind of going back and forth here between the two. We do have quite a bit of movement. We had CPI data come out today. And if we look over here, you can see we got our core inflation rate month over month. Let me fix this. One momento. Blink. Where did you go? There you are, buddy. We got our core inflation rate month over month. That came in. Consensus was 0.3 and forecast was 0.2. That came in right there. Core inflation rate year over year, 2.6. Consensus was 2.7, forecast 2.6. So pretty much right in line there. Inflation rate, consensus, and then forecast. Pretty much right in line there too as well. And then we have our 2.7 consensus, 2.7 inflation rate year over year. So how's the market responding? Overall, not doing really much of anything. Today we had some order flow to the downside. We came into and around the daily implied move. Our market net flow, as it stands right now, we have the cumulative net premiums for puts trending higher. We have the cumulative net premiums for calls, also above that zero line and slightly trending higher here too as well. which puts a damper on the market. And where is that kind of coming out of? That's really coming out of financials today, one of the worst performing sectors. We're kind of just struggling right here at lows of the trading session. Looks like it's about to break lows at 1.76% down on the trading session. We did have JPM report earnings. If we go to JPM, it's down a whopping 3% as it stands right now. Is that well within alignment? I didn't pull up the expected move for this one, what it was. I guess I can do that really. No, I guess I will. Let's do it. We'll go pull up the expected move just to see. I'm going to go analyze. We'll go think back. I'm going to go to the 12th. The 12th. Change it. Boom. And we're going to go to JPM. And we were looking at roughly at about $11.84 expected move. So right now we're trading at $10.39. So we're within expectations right now. What did I say? $11 and something, $11.84. So if I draw this out from yesterday's close, go like this. $11.84. That's the one standard deviation move right down here for the earnings for JPM. Okay, that's what the market price in for risk right here at the low end. And we're basically right there, right? So perhaps if we do get down here, maybe that's where financials kind of take a little bit of a relaxing break. We have MasterCards that hit their 2 standard deviation move today, and we had Visa well under it too as well. This is the 2 standard deviation move for Visa. I've been watching this trend, and we're basically exactly where we were when I started watching this name in and around this area, so not much action over here. But overall, this is a pretty large drop. I don't think I've seen a drop like this since June, I believe it was, this prior year. That was the most recent one. Yeah, June 17th was right there. So one of the largest moves, and this is in the Dow Jones. So this is what, it's going to be a laggard on the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is still holding up rather well overall, but, a big move there in Visa could put some kibosh to the bulls there in the meantime. Nvidia, rather flat on the trading session. Price action's getting pretty tight. It actually doesn't look really too bearish here. It looks like it's wedging, getting ready for a pop-up higher. So be aware of that. Therefore, Nvidia, we have Google that really led the markets today. Google pressed higher. That's what really drove the performance out of the gate this morning. So you had Google, boom, way up there, and then we kind of came in. That's what really actually helped drag the market down earlier today. So we had the SPY kind of pull back into an inclining 5-day moving average. As far as various opportunities go today, I'm looking at some of the 2 standard deviation alerts that came through. We can go ahead and go through some of these. We had some China names go down. Pinduoduo, that one's not my favorite looking right now. This is the 2 standard deviation level. So out of the gate, we played right back into it, but we had a big gap down. We haven't seen really any bounce. Another China name was TIGR. This one's currently under the 2 standard deviation move. And this one, is more kind of my pace, except I just don't like the pricing and then the volume on a name like this. So, if this was a larger market cap name with some more volume behind it, some more liquidity, I'd be more inclined to play maybe a trend break back to the 950. Just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it can't work for other people. We had FIG, which is FIG. This is at its 2 standard deviation level right now as it stands. Okay, no real bounce over here, but it is starting to kind of, take a little bit of a breather there. We also had Asan come in, another kind of lower beta name. This one came under its 2 standard deviation move. I don't know why I didn't change that to pink, and now we're kind of trading right above it. So a little bit of a pop there, but nothing to write home about. Let's see here. What else did we get? We had WGS hit a lower 2 standard deviation move today. So this is another bigger mover today. This one hit it yesterday as well. And then we're getting a follow through on that. So if I go to the daily chart, which I like to do, this is actually pulling into an inclining 200-day moving average. So being that this is kind of set up where we had a big move and a big move, these are outside of market expectations. These are the kind of ones that I'm like, okay, I actually don't mind, especially when we have a larger term trend to the upside, to start a position, swing trading in something like this and just kind of fade the current moves that we recently seen. So when I go about this, if I'm not, because I wouldn't be day trading this, it's just too liquid, it's kind of choppy all over the place. But if I would look at the 15-minute time frame, we do have a little bit of a positive divergence here forming. were pretty extended from the 5-day moving average. And then we saw a pretty big break here in recent trade. But overall, the larger term trend is still up. So when I go to the weekly time frames, same situation. We have a 30-week rising, 40-week rising, and we're taking a bit of a breather here. We've done that here prior in the past, and it led to some moves to the upside. So if I look at this, I'm like, okay, well, I want to take a stab at this for a potential mean reverting trade, pop back up higher. It would be a smaller position size. So I don't mind doing that actually as I'm looking at this. So I'll go into my, I'm going to go into my USIC account. I'm going to go to WGS. And what I'll do is I'll just apply a pilot position. And because it's pilot, I usually pilot to small would be around 2%. Well, small position is more like 3% of my portfolio. A pilot's more like 1.5 to 2. Given the context of all of this that I just said, I typically only like to do starter positions because I can actually build into it if we get another 2 standard deviation move for like a even more powerful potential mean reverting trade. So for me, I'd be just buying about 1.5%. So very small position, but it's just to start gaining some exposure on some of the names that have been beaten down that are in positive trends. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and execute into that. Yeah, it's so... These don't really make, once you have a few of these on, it makes a difference. But, one name like this, it ain't going to move your portfolio, especially if you're position sizing like I do. But, once you start building out your portfolio and you get a few of these names or you build into it or start setting back up and you can add to them, it makes sense. So that one was fine. I'll go ahead and I'm just call 109.54, or I don't know where the entry was. I just hit the market order on a 1.5% move. Let me go over here. I'll go to WGS and I got at cost basis 110. So I'm at 110. The bid to ask spread. That's why I don't like day trading these. The bid ask spread is kind of wide there, but that's fine for a 1.5% position. I'm not really worried about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to edit properties. I'll make this line green. I'm just gonna go right at 110. Okay. Boom. So low conviction, small position, just taking advantage of the intraday volatility. So there's that. Let me continue on. I want to go ahead and see a few more names, and we're going to look at some of the intermarket stuff here too. Adobe, ZM, and also CRM took some big hits today. So Adobe, this has been in a poor trend. It's underneath its 2 standard deviation move as it stands right now. And it's actually a pretty clean trend so far. So these ones are also some of the ones that I don't mind necessarily day trading. As far as swing trading goes, not really a huge fan of this because of the context of it basically just breaking down to new lows. Now, given the context that it's already made a pretty big move like this, right? Play for a little bit of a mean reversion trade. That makes sense, but as we're breaking lows, we can definitely come hit a little bit
officials
lower.
say it does confirm there was a temporary decline in oil shipments through the marine terminal in December via CBC due to drone attacks.
So for something like this, if I were to trade it intraday, I might get out of the bulk of the position around the 2 standard deviation or the daily VWAP if we get there. But this one, once again, it's given the context of the chart, it would be one of those smaller positions. But it's something that I don't mind necessarily just having a little bit of exposure to, given the day to day being outside of its 2 standard deviation move. And remember, if you think of this in terms of probabilities.
Thermo Fisher Scientific CEO at the JPM conference says pharma reshoring going to be a tailwind in 2027 and 2028 for the industry.
If you think of this in terms of probabilities, right, 95% of the time we stay within these 2 standard deviation levels, and we're currently outside of it, right? And that's based off of the implied volatility. So it's been basically every single 15-minute candle has been red. It's getting pretty frothy from the 5-day moving average. Play it up to here, or a trend break, and then you have a stop at the low, or play it up to daily VWAP, and then maybe you can leave a little bit on if you find that necessary. So Adobe, CRM, let me take a look at CRM. Similar situation. This one was looking really good, and then today we had a break lower of this underneath last year's daily volume weighted average price too as well. So this one, I'm not much of a fan of because we kind of went sideways right here and then we broke lower. But I would have been more of a fan of something like this and then playing for a bounce back up and then maybe scaling some off. So not my favorite right there. Let me see here. Give me a second. All right. We had ZM, so Zoom video, some software names. 2 standard deviation move on this was 83.67. So another one that kind of got clobbered on today's price action. We're basically right there at that 2 standard deviation move. We had Path, PATH, moving. This one got outside. So this one would have been something that I may have traded. I would have looked at maybe underneath the 2 standard deviation move. I maybe played somewhere around here, back up to try to get to daily VWAP. Right now, I'm not interested in that either. And then we had DocU. That's currently under the 2 standard deviation move, and this could have been another one that I would have been interested, maybe breaking through, because this is almost a 3 standard deviation move. I would have to go to the daily time frame and just see what it looks like. Doesn't look good, so I don't love these for swing trades because they're in declining trends. So they'd have to, once again, you take that into context, it'd be smaller positions. We already did CRM. We had JPM. We had some big moves in some of the commodity space. Silver today took off outside of its weekly implied move. This one is interesting to me now because after a big pop up like this, you're also looking over here at some of the highest implied volatility once again. This was, I remember talking about this when it previously happened just about a week ago or so. So as we're pressing through the weekly implications of its expected move, we have IV that's basically, I can only say crisis territory because the only time we've been in these areas, there was some sort of panic or crisis going on. We had COVID, right? We had Operation Twist. We had Ben Bernanke, right? We had actual fears that we're going back into the Great Depression over there. Those are all marked turning points. So we're in some very precarious area, just weird things overall going on in the market. That's to say, the least there. TNX CGI, so the 10-year yield has been kind of just going flat here. Coiling up, I will say, coiling up. So if I look at bonds, TLT also just coiling up over here. Energy is one of the top performers today, which, once again, when you have energy outperforming the S&P 500, if you've been watching the last couple of videos, that's not necessarily a good sign for the markets, right? If you have energy outperform for a while, it's not great. And take a look at year to date over here on my right-hand side. Look at this. So you have, as far as the 11 sectors that make up the S&P 500, you have XLB actually up leading. Then you have energy right next to it. Okay, those are the 2 top performing sectors from a year-to-date basis. And when you have those as the 2 top performing sectors, you're typically cresting into territory. And if it holds this, you're typically cresting into the territory where you're finding some sort of a market top. I can't tell you if that's a cycle top, a larger cycle top, or whatever the case may be, but that's typically what that means. And I shared the chart here prior. I'll share it again just so people that are new here might be able to see it. By the way, once again, I'm gonna hop on a Fortnite game here in a moment, and I'll have the chart up still and kind of watch that. Pony, I wanted to take a look at this one. This is I believe this had to do something with AI or cars or something like that. I'd have to look again. PONY, I think it's a China name as well. But that's a 2 standard deviation move on the daily. This thing is getting absolutely clobbered right here. So 1569. So we just hit a 2 standard deviation move on this basically right now.
Just via shipping data,
once again,
so the third
I'm not a
oil
fan of these
supertanker about to depart from
illiquid type of
Venezuela
names,
is
really,
to carry
but
crude to the Caribbean storage.
I can see why people might want to trade them because they're lower priced. But if you do, once again, it's all about position sizing. It's not about perfect entries. It's about probabilities and position sizing. That's really all this is. Right, I don't care if I'm wrong
between the US and South Africa.
because my sizing makes sense to
Trade
be able
Minister
to
welcomes the approval
around
of
and
the
navigate.
renewal bill by the US House of Representatives and says it will continue to engage with the US over a trade deal.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to, I want to check Visa again. Yeah, that one's not really doing much here. We have Roblox taking off. Let's take a look here really quick at the dollar. What's the dollar doing? I'm assuming that it's also up on the session here. Yep, dollar's up a little bit. We have Meta that's down 2%. We talked about that one on yesterday's live stream. That one's at its 1 standard deviation move. Looks like it's coming back into the daily VWAP. Amazon down about 1%. Microsoft down 1.58%. Also not the greatest looking daily chart over here. Let me clear this out. The 200-day is still inclining, but we have the shorter term averages kind of picking back up over here, okay? It sells ponies. I got to move my chat over to this side. Let me see here. It's easier to read on my neck. There we go. All right. By the way, how's everyone doing today? Oh, thanks, Sam. What's up, everybody? I forgot to actually hit my, whoa, what did I just do here? I forgot to hit my live on X. So let me actually post on X that I'm live here on YouTube too. I forgot about that. I don't know what the internet would be like if I stream on X too as well right now, but I'll maybe save that for another time. Alrighty. S&P 500 making quite the recovery here so far. And market net flow, still not the greatest, but at least the green line's picking back up, and that's positive. And it is a bearish divergence, but we don't have convergence on this, which you can have counter trend moves when that's the case. And we're basically coming into flat on the trading session.
Further commentary at Thermo Fisher says company will be cautious on its academic and government end market for this year.
Oh, really? Take a look back over at Adobe. The Adobe's starting to break that trend right here. So if you traded Adobe, maybe play it back into these areas. If we can catch a little bit of a bid there in Adobe, we'll look back at WGS. That one's just kind of floating around, not doing anything. That's just pretty normal. I'm about to hop on Fortnite right now. Just wanted to do kind of an overall view on the markets. We can hop in. Do the Fortnite. Do the Fortnite.
Update between the EU and Iran. EU official says the foreign policy arm has summoned the Iranian ambassador.
Let's hop in a game. Let's do it. What do I think of Sphere? It's been on a monster run. Yeah, I like actually Sphere. So let me, I'll pull up a chart of Sphere right now. Let me see here. I thought I had a way to look at my stock too. Stocks in Fortnite. Here we go. So we'll pull up Sphere. I'm assuming you want the daily time frame. Yeah, it's a brand new high today. So, I'm not interested in really buying new highs, although this kind of looks like a little bit of consolidation and potential breakouts, so it looks like it wants that 100. That would be watching for consolidations. I like consolidation kind of like this one that we saw over here. If we maybe break up a little bit higher, maybe look for 7-10-day consolidation. But overall, if you're in this thing, it's strong. Strong stocks typically get stronger. This thing is up, it's up like over 100%. Up like over 100% here in a very short period of time. And think of it this way, like if you're going to try to find 1,000% gainers, they always have to move 100% up. So if you're looking for strong, is there an echo? Hold on.
Update for Ford. White House press secretary says that there will be a Ford announcement expected today. That's of note for Ford. Announcement expected today, says White House official.
here. Test, test.
Seeing an immediate spike higher in 4 shares, although we're only marginally in the green by around 0.2%.
Test, 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 test. Test, test. Let me see here. How is it now? 1, 1, 1, 2.
And just more details on that Ford announcement, that'll be on increasing jobs and producing gasoline trucks.
Can anybody confirm whether or not when you guys are saying it's better, is the audio actually working? I want to make sure that I'm not clipping and that it's not echoing. Okay, it's fixed. All right, so good stuff. All right, I want to see. So Spy is still kind of running here, so I'm gonna zoom in here on Spy. I should have probably landed somewhere. I'm not used to trading stocks and playing Fortnite. And by the way, don't stream snipe me. All right. If you are gonna stream snipe, just come over here and come visit me in the game. I think I'm on NorCal, just so people know. Or not, NorCal something. I don't know what they call it. No echo anymore. The sound from game screen is overwhelming. So Xbox audio is a little bit too loud. Let me see if I can dimmer that a little bit. It's louder, but it's echo. No echo anymore. Audio's good. You guys are sending confirmed, like mixed signals to me here. So this is, once again, this is my first time doing this. I don't really know. Got market running here pretty nicely. Red line's coming off too as well, which is nice. T-Mobile hit its lower daily implied 2 standard deviation move too, by the way. And this one's been kind of getting its butt kicked. So this is another one to potentially watch. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. 190.37. That's a bot. Just keep an eye over here on the S&P 500. It's not an echo now. Market building. I don't actually have, I'm not on build. I'm not a good builder. I mean, I could build, but I can't play against other people that build, that are good, because it's just like, it's not fun. It's not fun playing against other builders. Trying to keep an eye here on the markets too as well. I see you. I see you. He dropped off. Little punk. Still gapping builds is nuts. This market's nice. Is building a sky ramp. Yeah. That guy's being a little chicken butt. Whatever. The green line is starting to pick up quite a bit here. The cumulative net premiums for calls, so that's not a horrible sign. We're not too far off the 7,000 marker, so that would be a target for an area. If this continues to pick up like this, that'd be a pretty good sign for the markets. We're flat on the trading session right now. I need better weapons. What's happening here? Hold up. Oh, thank you. But you got into the market. I still like playing. It kind of distracts my mind a little bit while I'm waiting for setups to occur. Oh, okay, here we go. Oops. I think that's a bot.
Just making you aware we are getting the EIA's short-term energy outlook. Just going to go through it now. So in terms of their forecast on WTI Brent, 2026 WTI price average of $52.21 per barrel. That's up from their prior forecast of $51.42. In terms of 2027, forecast of $50.36 per barrel for WTI. For Brent in 2026, they see price of $55.87, up from the prior $55.08. For 2027, they see that $54.02. In terms of world oil demand, EIA sees that for 2026 at 104.8 million barrels per day, down from the prior 105.2 million, and then for 2027 sees that at 106.1 million barrels per day. In terms of the world oil output for 2026, you see that of 107.7 million barrels per day. It's up from the prior forecast of 107.4 million barrels per day. And then for 2027, they see it increasing to 108.2 million barrels per day. And then lastly, for the US, so oil demand 20.6 million. 2027, they see that slightly higher at 20.7 million. And then for US oil output, 13.6 million barrels per day. 13.5 million. And then they see 2027 trickling down to 13.25.
This guy sees me. I need an AR or something. There we go. Okay. What are we doing here? camping for a second. Tick a tick a tick a tick a doo. All right, let me see here. I just want to check in a couple of things. All right, so snow, snow, SNOW. Snow just hit its lower 2 standard deviation move. A lot of these software type companies are just getting kind of hammered today. So snow today just hit 2 standard deviation level. 208.88. A lot of rotations out of this stuff. All right, let me go back to Xbox. Uh-oh, somebody sees me. This is a stream sniper. Oh no, that's the, what's it called guy? He has a big old tub of... Stay still. What did I want to... I was trying to move this over. All right. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I've been live streaming for a while. Quite a bit of live streams. Okay, while that loads up, I'm gonna go back into desktop to time cam here. All right, let's take a look back at markets. Still no movement really, just a nice kind of bounce from the 5-day moving average. Red line's rather flat, green line's still picking up, which is a more positive sign. And we're basically unchanged on the trading session today. A lot of sideways price action. The main level that the market's probably eyeing in on is at 7,000, which was a 0 DTE level today. And then also the upper daily implied move too. Today we did hit the lower daily EM on SPX, I believe. I don't know if I updated this one. I may have not have updated that. Let me see here. 69.4186. No, I didn't update that. Okay, my bad. Edit properties 69.41.86. No, so we didn't tag. We did not tag that one yet. Big move in Nvidia. So this one we kind of caught a little bit earlier today, how it's kind of coiling up. Nvidia looks like it's getting ready to kind of pop up higher, to be quite honest here. I don't see, and if the S&P 500 is going to go to, if S&P 500 is going to go to 7,000, a move just like this little flag breakout on Nvidia might be worth playing, just given the risk to reward here. Because if this does want to break out higher, this can bring us right back up to around these highs. If we chase it though, it's already made a pretty large run here. So see how this consolidates a little bit. But that could be a setup with a low risk. So your stop would be under this low, which is basically 180, just under 183. So maybe 182.99. Something like that would be decent risk to reward. All right. Yeah, I can probably make the game a bit quieter because it was hurting my ears too. Let me see here. You can't hear it right now though, right? Now you should probably be able to hear it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna lower the that audio. I'm gonna have Nvidia up here. So Nvidia, we'll see if this kind of pulls in a little bit. There we go. Skateboarding. 360. Transfer. 540. Oh, this guy's real. And I'm dead. Stand no chance against him. Let's go back over. Oops. How's RXO look? Let's take a look. Why is my thing not working there? Okay. RXO. What is that? Let's see here. I mean, it's a declining trend. It is starting to kind of go sideways for a minute here last year, right? Building some sort of a base, but we still have a declining 200, declining 50, flattening, and we're under last year's daily volume weighted average price. So if it can, coil up in here a little bit, maybe, that could be something to watch for. But right now it's, you're fighting a trend. You do have a higher low here, which is nice, but you are also you have lower highs as well. So the consolidation is nice, but perhaps if we can do something like that, might set up for a little bit better of a move there. I didn't look into Apple, but I can look into Apple right now. At least today I didn't look into Apple. So Apple, I have a position in Apple, and I traded just under the lower monthly implied move. While this was happening, semiconductors was at its upper monthly implied move, and it's kind of breaking from that right now. So you have semiconductors really outperforming, and then you have Apple really lagging here. But after given the kind of move down with Apple, I figured I can probably play out of this weekly, monthly implied move there. And we're seeing a little bit of a bounce, nothing crazy. But overall, this one, I mean, it doesn't look all too hot. It's just I was playing a mean reverting trade. So just know that the trend here in the medium and short term is bad. And then we have our 200-day way down here that's, trending higher. Doppler. All right. Let's check back in TIGR, some of these 2 standard deviation moves. So if anybody took that Tiger trade, this was one that we were looking at a little earlier. It's not really my cup of tea, but that traded back into that 2 standard deviation move. Go back to Snow. Snow just kind of floating right in and at it. I'm going to go back to the S&P 500, kind of monitor it. It's pretty chill right now. Actually, I want to look at some of the crypto names. Clean Spark. This is one we looked at the other day. This one actually popped up pretty nicely, but it reverted. So let's just take a look at Ethereum. I'll look at Ether. Ethereum seeing a little bit of a bounce here. Ethereum looks good. Yeah, it would be front running the Sailor to Shift tool, but that's fine as long as you're managing risk. When I see good setups and I see these higher lows and it coil up, I'm fine with front running it, which I did. I have some Ethereum. I have Solana using SOLZ. And then Bitcoin, I don't have any Bitcoin, but you know, it's looking a lot better here. So perhaps we're getting a little bit of a move there in Bitcoin too. All right, S&P 500 kind of just going sideways, pulling in a little bit. Let me go to the Xbox. We'll pull up PSIL. What is that? That sounds like a silver thing. Spy's coming in actually kind of hard right now. Let me pull this up. Let me go hide. Let me go hide in the dumpster. Let's see what's going on here. Perhaps there's a little bit of news driven. Got S&P 500 coming in here. Oh, I got footsteps. Yeah, I'm just gonna hide. It's fine. I want to see what's going on with the S&P 500. All right, let's see here. Probably look at Nvidia because there's Nvidia pulling in here. So this could create some opportunity, having Nvidia finally kind of pull in after this run up. If we were looking at the daily time frame and seeing if we can play a pop up higher. So let me go to this here. Guy went right by me. Let me go through Nvidia. We're going to go to 5-minute time frame. It's still a declining 5-day. So this is the, ignore the orange lines there, but this is the consolidation. And then we have kind of the move starting right here. So if we can get maybe right down into and around this area, ignore the trend changer on this color here. There we go. Maybe around 186 if it can come into here, and maybe that can create some sort of a trade opportunity for Nvidia. Give me a second here. We also have the cumulative premiums for calls torquing down here, and the red line's going up. So So now we're down about 15 basis points. Yeah, look at the IWM too. Okay, I'm gonna keep this up and then I'll go back to my Xbox screen. I'll pull up small caps here momentarily. Kind of interested in going for Nvidia here if we can get down just a little bit more. Oh, I hear somebody. Hear somebody in the wind. Oh, there's a crown person. Uh-oh. Jump into that. Shit, Nikes. Oh, did he find me? How did he find me? Oh, that was somebody else. Oh, no, that's oh, lemon and ass. Look. Let's get back over here. Damn, how did he find me? Sneaky man. Okie dokie. So I'm looking to potentially start a position in Nvidia. I'm really interested in this one. Let me see where that's at. That's at the all-time high VWAP. Okay. Don't. I might just do like a starter position in Nvidia just to have it, and then see if I can do anything with it. Just not really moving right now. Let me give it more time. See if it can break down just a little bit lower. I will note that on the run up here intraday, I mean, geez, look at this run. Went from 184 to like 187. Just a massive move here. Good volume on the way, and then on this pullback here, it's pretty light overall, so, you know, that's not a horrible sign to have. Plug. Yeah, we'll look at the small cap too. What's the ticker for the small cap that you want to look at? Plug we went over just yesterday, and we were looking at that kind of 250 area right here in a nice little coil. So that could be something for sure to keep an eye on. And we also looked at TAN. I didn't really get the pullback that I was looking for there in TAN, but I'm going to keep an eye here on Nvidia, and then I'll go back to my Xbox. Oh yeah, wait, what was P-Cell? Let me I'll go back to P-Cell because you had asked. Psychedelics. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's pretty darn a liquid, but you know it is getting rather tight. You do have a series of lower highs here, but man, this thing went up for a nice run. So if we go into maybe a weekly chart, it'd be a little bit easier. And it's been going sideways for a long time, and now we're kind of pulling back into this inclining 40 week. So is this, you know, another one of these where it's an, you know, earlier stage of a markup? Maybe. I am noticing cannabis related equities looking pretty good. Like this is MSOS, right? Yesterday we pulled up a bunch of different ones like Toke. We pulled up JGBTIF or no, GLASF. Yeah, Glass House, just a nice consolidation over here. So you never know. Maybe they kind of run hand in hand, go together. INTC. Yeah, INTC is running. I wouldn't be chasing that one, but this one had multiple nice setups. Like this was clean. That was clean. This was clean. So look for consolidations here too. Okay, Nvidia is actually pulling back to the all-time high VWAP right now. So now it might get to my VWAP that I was looking at. Let me pull up Nvidia. Here we go. I'm looking at my Xbox screen and somebody was just kind of walking around me. It's funny. So yeah, right in this area, like if you were looking to try to like take a stab at Nvidia, that little pullback after this run up, you know, that makes sense. I like the daily chart still. You'd have a stop under this prior day's low. Yeah, RDW. It's getting hung up on last year's volume weighted average price and the 200-day moving average. So if we can kind of go through here and then break through this 11, you'd have an idea for a stop. This would be a risk. And then, yeah, I mean, that might set up for something for sure. It kind of went far and fast into this level, and then it's kind of just getting more volatile as it consolidates. So I'd like to see more of this type of consolidation than what I'm currently seeing. But, you know, a lot of the times that just leads to like shakeouts. Pull back up here. Market net flow, still not a great sign of market net flow, but we're only down 13 basis points. And we have Nvidia bouncing off of the all-time high VWAP. Not strong, but is that the all-time high VWAP? I might be confused here. I thought it was the all-time high VWAP. Yeah, I think it is. So if Nvidia bounces from here, you'd be looking at this VWAP from this prior swing high. Maybe it curls up, maybe it brings this one up, maybe they pinch and then creates an opportunity after consolidation. If it breaks down from here, then you know that it just opens the door lower. Energy sector I talked about in just a prior video, and you know that's been a very strong one, including today. And when energy outperforms the market, it's typically not great for the market. And we've been having things like materials be the leading sector in energy from a year-to-date perspective out of the 11 sectors that make up the S&P 500. So you can see here, XLB, 7% up. It's pretty frothy right there. And then we have energy right there at 5%. So those are the two leading sectors in the S&P 500. And that's not the greatest sign. That's probably why we're seeing some consolidations in the markets, just a little bit of uncertainty. We're right near that. Right near that 7,000 level. It's like, just get there, go tag it, break above it a little bit, squeeze higher, and then come back to that level. NVO. NVO, I'd be looking for consolidations. It's back at that, yes, last year's volume weighted average price, and it's a declining 200-day. and we kind of went from down here to here. So strong from a rotation standpoint in for the year, but now I'd be looking for more of that consolidation. And CELH, hold on a second. I got to go really quickly to help my wife out. Take me a few moments. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so CELH, yeah, I'd be looking for consolidation here. Just nice rotation, right? I've been looking at a lot of consumer staple names. Consumer staples has been doing pretty good. Another good one. But I'll be looking for consolidations. ABAT. I'm not much a fan of the lower price names, but I don't know. I'd have to look into it more. But from just a technical perspective, a nice little consolidation here, and we broke out higher, and it's above some of these key averages, so that's a positive sign. So if we get a little bit more consolidation, we're seeing good volume come in, so that could be a little hidden secret taking place there. Makes me think of ENVX for some reason. ENVX has been putting in these higher lows and also kind of just going sideways here. This one, when it moves, it can move, and it can move quickly. Tesla's not doing anything, but we did pull back into that kind of golden pocket from this high to this, or sorry, from that low to this high. But overall, just consolidating here. It's basically flat on the year, so not much movement in Tesla yet. All right, I'll be right back. I need to go help my wife here really quick. I'm going to keep Nvidia up on the screen so you can kind of watch. Oh, it did tag that. It tagged that lower VWAP that I was looking at, by the way. We'll see here if it can hold that. We got the daily on the left side, and we got our little VWAPs here. Underneath this, it gets a little bit more sketchy. But I'll keep this on screen. I'll be right back, okay? I'll look at SXTC. I don't know what that... Actually, I'll just look at it right now before I head up. Did I pull this one up? SXTC. I have no idea. A pharmaceutical thing in China. China names are getting kind of hit today. But pharmaceuticals do this kind of stuff, so I really don't know. You probably have to just pull up the news. All right.
Just an update from the USA today notes the US
Be right
could
back.
take action on Greenland in weeks or months. And so that's the US today interview citing a US official which says Greenland action could come within weeks or months. Within that USA Today interview with that US official, it does note that Trump's preferred option is to buy Greenland, but other diplomatic means are being considered. And it does reiterate that most Greenlanders do not want to become a US state. And just a heads up from the White House press secretary, again on Trump's speech in Detroit later today, will be about the economy, but there will likely be a mention on Iran.
All right, I'm back. How we doing? Pecan buyer. Cheers. Okay, let me go back to my Tesla or my Xbox screen because I'm for some reason still in the match with only 23 people left, and I was just standing there for a while. No gun in hand, just pickaxe in. Ain't got nothing here. Platform the most viewers. I think YouTube would be the one. YouTube. That's YouTube. Probably like YouTube. Check the market here. It's getting some pretty wide swings for the 15-minute time frame right now. 694, but just overall not much movement. Nvidia still kind of coming in here. I'm gonna go back to the probably watch something like this here on Nvidia. Might come right back to daily VWAP. Oh shoot. Are we at the gamma flip area? No, not yet. Go to gamma levels here. It's down here, more at like 69.20-ish. More at 69.20. Go back over to side by side. Just want to keep an eye here for potential Nvidia trade. Coming back into that VWAP, but yet the market's now down 16 basis points. Probably just getting dragged by Nvidia a bit here. So we'll see if
update for Argentina and some of the US banks. JP Morgan and Citigroup in talks to finance a $1 billion Argentinian pipeline.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't got any, should just rush that guy.
And just to confirm more details on that, so the project in Argentina known as DMOS is currently under construction. More banks may join the financing for the gas pipeline.
Oh, why did it disappear so fast? It's annoying. All right, I gotta go back to the screen here. Hey, what's up, Vinny? Yeah, I am. Just goofing around. DHR just hit a 2 standard deviation move. DHR just saw a pretty big move here, so I'm gonna draw out 229.66. Just recently saw quite the flush there in DHR into its 2 standard deviation move. We'll go to the daily time frame. This one's also one of those that are in an uptrend and a recent breakout. So, you know, these names, like when I see moves like this, I don't actually mind doing pilot positions from a not intraday perspective, from a swing trading perspective. Now I'm assuming that there could be potentially some news around it. Maybe not. No, 112. That was yesterday. So if I do a pilot position, it's typically about 1% to 1.5% for pilots. Smalls are typically 3%. So I'll snag a little bit there. I think, so which pilot position did I get on today so far? I did a pilot position in, I think WGS, and I got one now in DHR. So both little tiny pilot positions just to have some exposure. I'll get a little bit there. Given the context of it. And I think I did WGS too as well. Yeah, I did. Are you serious? What happened? What happened? Did that guy die? What happened to him? Did I just glitch him out of the game? don't got like any ammo or anything. I didn't play this round, so I have no weapons or anything.
Update for Boston Scientific, another
Yeah, let's take a
remark
look at
from the
Lily.
JPM conference. So executive says the goal is flat pricing each year,
Yeah, Lily's
but
still.
flat to down 1% is what to expect to go on a forward basis. Says China with the VPP can be the area price headwind. It says China will not grow 20% like it used to, but is confident it will grow in the teens going forward. So that's remarks from Boston Scientific, ticker BSX.
I like the look of Lily too. I mean, right? It's just pulling back a little bit after a pretty strong move. Oh man, what am I doing here? Oh no, there's a guy over there. I'm gonna die. Oh shoot. Oh, I need that. Uh-oh. No! I missed it. Whoa! Ah! Alright, so yeah, Lily, I like the looks of it. In fact, Lily, it's kind of been consolidating actually a pretty nice time right over here. So let me go back over to my... Here we go, so you can see a little bit better. So we had this pullback, some tightness, and we're getting these higher lows still, and then we're getting this little consolidation. So Lily's still holding up very well, right? Strong stocks typically get stronger. It's a strong trend. So yeah, overall, I like it. Healthcare stocks, looking good. Let me go back over to Nvidia because I still wanted to kind of watch that one. It's pulling underneath the VWAP that I checked, so got to see what it can do here. Which means it's probably helping drag the market down a bit. 23 basis points down. Oops. We're starting to get convergence that's red too as well, so not the greatest look there. I'm glad that I got some crypto exposure. My coin position's up 3% today. So coin over here, nice little breakout. I think I was looking at Mara and CLS and Mara and then CLSK as well. This one broke out but kind of squatted back down here. Quiet day. Quiet day for having CPI. It's quiet, too quiet. All right, so Nvidia still pulling in here, and I'm watching now this. I'm still continuing to watch this trend here for Nvidia. Pretty clean pullback so far. Looks like it might be targeting just daily VWAP at this point. And it's pulling back into near where we had some resistance in the pre-market. See if I can fire off anything at all. I just got to keep in mind that market net flow is not on my side here, which is not ideal. It's not ideal. Let's go back. I want to go back and look at the financial names because XLF is now down 180 basis points on the session. So
I just want to be aware of here, US lawmakers do
pieces
move
just had
again
daily
to
VWAP.
revive Trump-supported credit card competition bill.
Yeah, maybe they're saving stuff for the ruling for tomorrow, right? They're supposed to get a ruling for the tariffs, right? That should be interesting. Maybe I'll have to be live again.
And on the energy footing, according to some source reports, Venezuela begins reversing oil output cuts as exports resume. A third tanker departed on Tuesday, signalling a Bahamas terminal as destination. And oil output did fall to 880,000 barrels per day last week. That's from 1.16 million barrels per day in late November. And Trafigura and Vitol are negotiating Venezuelan oil cargoes under US licenses, just via some source reports.
Oh shit.
I'm making it in around 10 minutes time at the top here. We'll be getting the latest US auction where the US is to sell $22 billion of 30-year bonds.
Oh my gosh.
And as always, we have put the recent auction
Oh my
averages
gosh,
and
I don't even have my
price
what's it called
on the headline
Oh,
feed. It is going over on the squawk. Last time out, it was a stop through of
I didn't even
0.1
have it
basis
on.
points, which against the tail average over the last 6 of 0.5 basis points. Bid to cover last time out was 2.36 times against a 6 auction average of 2.34 times. Dealers to 11.2% last time out versus the average 12.4%. Directs 23.5 in the last auction.
The auctions. That's funny. I was going against two people there. All right, so I'm gonna pull back up Nvidia. Just keep this on my lower, just to keep an eye on it. Not much going on in stocks for me right now, so can't do much. Can't do much. I'm watching Nvidia. That's about kind of the only thing on my radar right now. This move down here is kind of dragging S&P 500. Google down a little bit, but overall just really nothing. Yeah. And then market net flow is still bearish here. So this is kind of our kryptonite for the bulls. So if you're trying to fight it, you know, it's not the greatest time to try to fight that. Sure that was a bot. All right, S&P 500 still coming in here. I'm assuming it's safe to say Nvidia is coming in as well. Yep. Take a look at daily VWAP for Nvidia. It's currently under it. I want to take a look at ticks to see if anything's changing there. But yeah, market net flow is still bearish. Nothing happening from a tick perspective. SPY coming in though. Nvidia sitting down. Any thoughts on GRAP? I don't know that symbol. Maybe, are you talking about maybe grab? Grab needs to prove itself if you're talking about grab. I don't like where it's at right now. I need to see some strength here. INSP. Yeah, also same thing here. It's kind of consolidating after a bigger break here. So it's not in the greatest trend. I'm not feeling too confident with some of these names right now. It would be better if we started seeing strength from them and getting back above some of those averages. But right now, risky biz. Ricky Biggs. Iron was one, actually. I think that was on the tight list. Can't remember, but yeah, Iron looks like it's kind of been building these little consolidations, and on these breaks higher, we've been seeing some good volume on them. So Iron's not all that bad either, especially if you're kind of bullish in the crypto space. I feel like this kind of falls within that space or has a strong correlation, right? Yeah. SPY looks like it's just heading down to crack lows. So market net flow, you can see the green line pointing down, the red line going up. This is what's it's flow today. It's all flow. It's all flow. Forever and always. Doesn't care about stories. Let's take a look at what the expected move for SPY is going into tomorrow's trading session. Right now, it's at 4.26 of expectations for risks. I mean, we could be easily, you know, at new highs tomorrow. Or we can break down a bit. $4.26. SPY is still coming in. Let's see if ticks are getting extended at all. Not getting any alerts from a tick perspective. Barely. Yeah, you have Google coming down to the daily VWAP. Nvidia is helping kind of like pull this in a little bit here. Nvidia just touched its opening price, or sorry, yesterday's closing price, I believe that was. Just keeps on slipping. VIX hasn't been above 20 for a while. Yeah, it's been a minute. So I gotta move. Alrighty. SPY really kind of sinking off here. Just following market net flow once again. As soon as we started hitting this bearish convergence over here, and the line started separating, just look at what the SPY is doing. Coming down now. It is coming down to 693, which is a gamma range level. It has a main target at about 694. So in and around these areas, right at about here, it's possible that we can start looking for some type of foot, right, to stand back on our feet here. Let me look at total strike. At 694, so maybe 691. This is kind of that area where we can see a little bit of a, you know, relief maybe. Put this up. IWM's holding up. Yeah, there's been a rotation game. Yeah, IWM's up on the day. Honestly, if SPY and these larger cap names kind of go down, I wouldn't be shocked to see the IWM catch to the downside too. because it can only go up, you know, so long when you have flow and everything going against you. So IWM could be setting up for a quicker fade. And I believe we're outside of the monthly implied move too right now. So if I go to actually the trade tab with IWM and we look at just for the end of the week, still expecting $4.06. That came off a little bit, but $4.06. I mean, if we break expectations, it's still possible to hit the lower daily, but we're right there, the upper. Still kind of want to watch Nvidia here, see if it can do anything. Oops, what did I just do? Watching that trend there. Silver coming in a bit here too as well for those that are watching silver. I did put on a little bit of a short position in silver outside of the weekly implied move, so let's check on that. But I'm noticing on my screen it's kind of turning, it's lighting up green, so that must mean it's coming in. Yeah. I did that one a little bit earlier today, right in around these areas, so I've just been kind of holding it throughout the day, and this is coming back in. The weekly implied move is, you know, right here. I don't think it's necessarily the top. I don't think it's necessarily the top. But it does create good fade opportunities here and there, so. Let me actually switch over to. Let me get back over here. Semiconductors are still up on the day too, which that's crazy to me. Semiconductors, yes, they're coming off. Basically, Nvidia is driving it. But they're still up on the day. Take a look at AMD. Yeah, AMD is a big driving force of that. It's up 6% on this session. It's coming into its 50-day moving average, which started kind of reversing here. Okay, whatever. And then we're kind of finding our feet, like I said, over here on SPY. INTU just hit its lower daily 2 standard deviation move. Not a great trend. Not my favorite here. This one's been kind of dragging lower. It's not a really steep sell-off either. It's more of a slow bleed. But 614.38. They're right there. Makes you want to go back over to Visa and just check what Visa's up to. Yeah, Visa's not doing bad from this early morning thing. We kind of popped up from here, it pulled back, and it's been putting in higher lows, and now it's above its daily VWAP. So, I don't know, that was a big move in Visa. That's the largest one-day move since like June of this last year. So, yeah, big. Then we have Nvidia still slumping. Nvidia is not finding a bounce or anything here. So if it were to bounce, I'd maybe look at semiconductors as a whole, coming back into flat for the day. It's looking over here. We couldn't hold. Now it's down here. Still a pretty steep trend though, too. All right. MU looking, let's take a look at MU. MU is coming into its lower daily implied move, Micron. I mean, what's holding up this semiconductor sector right now? It's AMD, maybe Broadcom. Yeah, Broadcom up 1%. Couple of names. Probably going to see some sort of a bounce here in the near future with Nvidia, but just seeing, let me go back over to market net flow. Yeah, we're still pretty bearish flow. Look, it's still bearish flow. We're underneath that 693 right now by 50 points. This thing might try to come for its daily implied move at this point. No signs of stopping. No signs of stopping. Can I get a little help here with Nvidia? Nvidia now is flat on the trading session, just slightly down 7 basis points, and seeing some good intraday volatility. A whopping 7 points. I want to go back to Adobe because Adobe was getting crushed too. And I think it's still getting kind of crushed. Yeah, underneath its 2 standard. This is a huge move for Adobe too. 5%. So let's go over to the daily chart. We'll look over here. And yeah, it's a pretty big day for Adobe. Yeah, it's actually following through with some bigger days too. I'd imagine coming in at 10 o'clock, we're probably trying to find some sort of a low right in and around Adobe for around these levels, 310-ish. Considering actually just doing a 50 basis point position just to have something for a potential bounce in my USIC. Let me do that actually. I'm going to do that. I'll just get, I'm not even doing I'll do a 1%. Just it's going to be really tiny. It's going to be just a little guy. Yeah, I'll just do a 1% position. Just to see a mean reverting trade and maybe sell it on its first bounce, maybe into tomorrow. It's small enough to hold. I'll see if I can get it a little bit lower, but 1%, it's not really worthy of being time, like executing on time perfectly, but 310 right in this area could be a little bit better, I guess. ADSK also just hit its 2 standard deviation move. Oops. Autodesk also coming off some pretty big moves here to the downside. Just a lot of these names are breaking down today. I think it's really kind of software related. Software related. Okay. Nvidia seeing a little bit of relief here, just getting right back above 185. Yes, I think it is. Let's see here. There we go. Still following this trend a little bit lower here. Kind of just keeping an eye on that. Can you comment on Meta swing trade? Yeah, let's take a look at Meta. Meta, I did talk about the other day, and I wasn't a huge fan of it because just the context, once again, a lot of these larger names, man, I'm just starting to see them get under the 200, the 50-day sloping down, the 20-day sloping down. We're seeing some follow-through breaks. Now, if you go to the weekly chart, right, you are nearing this trend line from this low over here, which was the bear market low, and then you have a tariff low over here. We saw that earlier this year too, come in here, and we played it a bounce up, and now it's kind of pulling back in. So if we can hold this trend, you know, maybe it creates a bounce and we can go higher, but as we're getting below all of these averages, the 10-week, 40-week, 30-week is starting to curl over, is the larger trend trying to tell us that, hey, you know, it needs more time to relieve itself, or it's to consolidate through time, or is it actually going through some sort of topping process? Have I ever heard of strike pack? No. I'm not too familiar with what that is. I am not too familiar what strike pack is. back up Nvidia. It's kind of butting its head back on that trend here. Market net flow. So SPY, we were right. It's kind of dueling around, but still not much going on there. The green line's kind of picked up here a bit. Not much, but that does help. And just keep an eyeball here on Nvidia. Nvidia. Made by Collective Minds. People use them on their controllers to have extra aim assist and recoil control. Is it like a hack? You're in your tap and you're thinking about exiting tap. Is that a hack, Bimbino? I never heard of it. Wait, so what's it called again? It's called Mind something. Wait, what did you say it was called? Strike Pack. Strike Pack. No, I haven't heard of it. DHR. Yeah, DHR still coming in a little bit here. Following this trend lower. It's underneath its 2 standard deviation move. Saying it's the year-to-date price. Yes, sir. It's actually just under it. So I have a position in DHR after today's move. I bought it. I don't know where I bought it. Somewhere around here. Like a 1% position. Kind of like a hack controller. I don't want to get banned from Fortnite though. Would I get banned for something like that? TAP. Yeah, nice little break here from TAP, but it's still underneath the declining stuff. So declining 200 in the year-to-date VWAP. So that makes sense, I guess. You know, taking some of the profits off. Look at some of the profits off. You know, been using it on COD. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'd have to look it up. Does it work with Xbox 360? Is it like super hacked? I bet it's just like it gives you like extreme aim assist. I don't get what it is. Is it like control the knob for you, or is it like just like some sort of a plug-in? Huh? I'll have to look. I'd have to look. Come on, Nvidia. Let's see ya. See it go now. Get some relief. See if we can recapture and make a little bit of a U-turn through its daily VWAP, or if it's going to get hung up here. So we're breaking that trend now. We're still under daily VWAP, so it's not the cleanest trade, but breaking trend. Usually you do stops like down here and see if we can, reclaim VWAP. Try to head higher, get some relief and come back up, maybe retrace some of this pull down. Market net flow, not good, still red. But we're back at that 693, so we were right to say we kind of find our foot over here. So that's good. But overall, it's just kind of quiet so far. You know, I wouldn't really get too worked up about any of this right now. Healthcare could be one to look at. XLV just hit its lower daily implied move. Healthcare's been setting up good start to the year, right? It's in a bullish trend, and now it's pulling back here. Vinny, you brought up LLY, Eli Lilly earlier, so that one's actually holding up more relatively stronger. Let's see what Solar's doing. Tan's holding up really nicely. This is a nice ascending triangle. So financials still down pretty hard today. JPM reported earnings. Visa. Still kind of creeping. I'm going to pull back up Nvidia and kind of just keep an eye here. Let's see if we can make a little bit of a U-turn, see how this one plays. Shuck, yes. Head over back to Xbox. I've been playing. Here we go. Alright, Nvidia's getting hung up on its daily volume weighted average price. Can't say I'm too shocked there. If we can start getting above it, a little bit cleaner of a look. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. All right, green line's starting to really kind of pick up here, so can we do something about that, or is it going to just kind of come in a little bit? This is going to go up, and we're going to just come right back to 693. Trying to work its magic. Whee! Trading. Woohoo! Try to make it look something. It's not. We'll go back over to Nvidia here. It's trying to get back above VWAP. That could be a good sign. So it's kind of following that path we drew out. You know, maybe a pop-up through here. Maybe you could update stops. I don't know if anybody's in this on this trend break, but it's not a horrible look now. But the only downside is market net flow. Which is not a small downside, right? It's pretty big component to all of this. Seeing how Nvidia reached up to its daily implied move. Oh, there's a guy over here. Oh, hello. I'm not going down there. It's a trap. Oh, I just heard him come out with something. What the hell was that noise? Sounded like a porta potty. Zoom. Singing aye aye yippee yippee aye. Ah. Where you at, punk? I hear ya. Nvidia still can't get above daily VWAP. Okay. He's better than me. He's better than me. Yeah, if we start to see energy start to really take off, that's not, you know, once again, that's not a great sign for markets. So it's worth having some exposure to energy. Oops, I didn't mean to buy 10 of them. Oopsies. Nvidia backing off of the VWAP. I do like Nvidia as more of a swing trade. I was just looking for like potentially doing a day trade and giving me some, you know, getting some size behind it to be able to turn it into a kind of a free swing trade. I got no ammo. I got nothing. I haven't been focused in on the game. It's too hard. Too hard to focus on the game. But yeah, as far as the swing goes with Nvidia, if you can zoom in here, the daily chart, it's not looking too bad here. It's just kind of compressing. It's above a 20-day. The 50-day is kind of holding it down. But I thought maybe if I can get off some sort of a, you know, pop up higher, maybe can create more of a swing trade. Haven't been able to do that though. Silver coming in still, by the way. Hey, Tesla. Driving a Tesla around. I gotta put in my I gotta update my what's it called to have a Tesla on my Xbox scene. Hello. I'm back to where I was. Special chest. Guess I'll use an SMG, 'cause that's the only thing that I have ammo for. Thanks, Java. Appreciate it. care for a burst. Let's go back over to SPY here. Yeah, SPY just coming, kind of sitting back down. The green line now, it's starting to move above the red line. So that's more of a positive convergence. That's a, you know, that's not a horrible sign, but the market hasn't really responded yet. So let's see here if it does. Maybe it's a little bit of a shakeout before a move. Or just flat now. Singing I. My son's been singing that. Ooh. That's funny. Costco target observation was next level, by the way. I don't know how you come up with all these. Thanks, Spence. Yes, Nvidia ain't giving me nothing today. I can't get any sort of move. Just floating around its opening price, or yesterday's closing price. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. What? He had 1 health. I suck. Oh, he's gonna die. Oh, that guy's not. Oh, you little sneaker. Search this out. Whoa! Alrighty, I suck. Alright, so he's doing the gritty on me. Alright, let's go back over to this scene. See what we got here. Alright, this thing is really cranking right now. I'm curious to know what's going on. These are those situations where, so this is the only time I've seen this really happen, is when the market's down and then you see this take place in market net flow, where it's just really starting to crank and the market hasn't responded to it yet. And I've seen this a couple of times where if you just like do some random 0 DTE and it starts ripping up higher, those are the times where people are like, if you would have put $1,000 in this 0 DTE, it turned into XYZ amount, you know? I feel like we're right about there. Filter do I have quant data net drift on quant data net drift? I don't know what that means. Is that a service? I don't have that. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Yeah, market net flow is the one. Yep, market net flow. Back over to Adobe. Adobe's sitting at lows of the day. Still, this is more relevant. This trend line now is more relevant. Something like that. Down almost 6%. Software names are just getting smashed. Shmush today. My son. I can just hear him. Oh, McDonald. Had the farm. Yeah, Nvidia's it's not getting through this daily VWAP yet. It's trying to, but right now it could just be a bear flag, right? Could just be bear flagging. Market net flow on our side, which is more positive, but just not a good look from a technical perspective. You know, minus the net flow, it just doesn't look good from a technical perspective. E-I-E-I-O. That's I hear him saying that right now. All right, let's switch over to Xbox here. No, come here. Oh, somebody already got to it. Wow. Somebody get all these things already? It's just... Oh yeah, he's down there. Little punk. Gonna go with assuming he's gone. Nvidia, let's see you do it. Let's see you move. Aha. Yeah, you know, I had F Ford actually as a trade idea a while back. I think I was looking at it here. I think I was looking at it here and here. And I mean, even now, it's just like these, you know, strong moves with good volume, sharper pullbacks on low volume. It looks really good. So even, you know, even this one, you know, Ford looks great. GM, yeah, this one's pretty monstrous move already too. So I'd be looking for more consolidations there, but Ford might be still early, you know, in the grand scheme of things. I've been watching Rivian too. This pullback right here in Rivian, the volume is getting pretty light here. And it was a strong move up on some decent volume, so that could be another one to watch. Yeah, Kumar, so the way that I kind of protect my trades is by typically having a larger cash position and I just selling some or updating my stop losses. On occasion, I might look at like the S&P 500, right? Because if it's correlated to the S&P 500, I might look, you can potentially look for like a put spread in the S&P 500. The thing is, if you hedge, right, if you're hedging, the goal of a hedge is not to like make you money, like it's to protect your larger trades. So kind of keep that in your mind, because a lot of people, they want their hedge to pay them, and it's like, okay, you know, sometimes that's okay, you know, but also if it doesn't, that shouldn't, you know, be a problem. Pull that up. Woohoo! Uber. Uber actually looks kind of interesting here. Uber looks really interesting here. We have an outside candle today. We saw kind of a big move here and then a nice tight consolidation. Yeah, you have your, death cross over here. Your 50 is declining, your 200 is still up though. But actually that looks pretty good. That'd be nice. Good risk to reward, right? So you kind of want to just basically your stop under, maybe stop under this day's high, that. So you're basically looking at basically minus a 6% move if you're wrong. So you just got to position size accordingly to that. But overall, right, you're kind of seeing a series of lower highs, lower lows, but now we're starting to see a little bit of a pop here. Not too shabby. Fang. Diamondback Energy. Yeah, this one's just building a long base. Kind of looks like XLE. NEO. I don't know if that one's been covered or not. Yeah, NEO, I think I was looking at originally here and then over here again and then here again. So I'd be looking for more consolidations. I like these tight consolidations like this. This one's not really consolidating yet. We had a pretty big outside day yesterday, so maybe we get a little bit more of a consolidation here. Let me pull back up Nvidia. We're up 7 basis points on Nvidia today. Still seeing, it's still not recouping the daily VWAP, which is not a great sign. It needs to recoup daily VWAP. Right now, it looks like it can still leg lower. Like it's like kind of just consolidating and looking like it could break. The S&P 500 is pressing right now. That's interesting, but yet it's not Nvidia's not helping it. I mean, where's it coming from? Maybe a little bit of Apple? I really don't know. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me switch over to Xbox. Somebody's right next to me. This is my house now. I'm the captain of this ship now. Okay. Go back over to Nvidia. Still interested in watching that. Thank you, thank you. Market net flow is bullish. This green line going up is a good sign, but man, if Nvidia were to help out, this thing would probably just fly. It's not helping. Nvidia. Oh, Nvidia to be the one to drag everything else down. What's going on over here? The battle took place over there. Just judging by these builds right here, or these things, I have a feeling that whoever's playing is a lot better than me. So I shall be dying soon. This little thing right here, if I were to pick it up, it's like a... they can see me on the map, but it gives me a little bit extra health. I've never been good with it. Although it could come in handy going against. You know what? I'll just pick it up. As long as I don't get targeted by one of these good players. I feel the power. Whoa, I'm Brutus. I'm huge. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't have a sniper rifle anymore. That's okay. I can run fast. Probably don't even need these crash pads because I can move so fast. I'll just get these shield balls. Shield bubbles. No, that's not what I meant to do. It's okay. I want to just camp out for a second because I want to look at the... Am I still bullish GIS? I don't have a... Oh, I think I might still have a little bit of a position left. But yeah, I mean, it's not like it's in a positive trend, but getting some exposure to some of these consumer staples was the main idea. Oh my goodness. Paying attention. But yeah, if I look at like the 5-day moving average right now, oh, so starting to see the main setup over here on a 15-minute time frame. And now what are we doing? We're seeing higher lows. This looks not bad, and it looks like it could be the early start of a potential change in trend here too. And that could cause, you know, pop up maybe to these prior highs or maybe even further, but that'd be pretty darn good. So I am still bullish this. It doesn't like look good on the daily chart, so you got to just take that into consideration. But the GIS has made me good money just from that little trade over there. We're getting quite a bit of these alerts actually right now. We're getting, wow, a lot of 2 standard deviation moves just kind of came through. I got some lower one PGR. Let me change my timing thing over. Got PGR. Actually, wait, let me go to... Gotta change my character to the Stockman. Progressive. This is hitting a 2 standard deviation move right now. Horrible trend too. ASST just hit a lower one, and we're getting some oil names hitting 2 standard deviation moves to the upside. What is this? ASST. That doesn't look good. This thing, look at this thing. It's too illiquid for me. I don't like that. Ugh. Go back over to Nvidia. This thing just can't bounce. It's not bouncing. It's just getting weaker and weaker over here. Locker. I got to change my character to the stock guy. Diamond Hans. Where is he? D-I-A. Ah, I found him. Okay. Yeah, I can check COF. Capital One Financial. Yeah, just... What happened here? Is this the news from the credit card stuff, I assume? It's a response to the credit card changes. So I imagine. It's on an declining 50-day. So yeah, you might see some relief here, but this right now, it's just been going sideways for 2 days after a drop lower. I think you do have earnings coming up on all of these financial names as well. So just be aware of that. It's overall in a bullish trend. It's just your news stuff is hitting these things down. Nvidia looked like it broke lower. Let's see if it did. Yeah, Nvidia just slugging. This is also kind of curling itself over here too. SPY's still trying to hold up. Do I play Battlefield? I used to. I used to play the original Battlefield on PC. Used to love that, LAN parties, but I haven't yet on this, like the Xbox, which is what I'm on right now. Weird, just weird mood. Look at this thing. Boing, boing. Came right in from this high to this low. It's like a 1.8%. SPY still holding up. Only down 28 basis points. Just a slow day. I would have thought we would see some more volatility or something that would be more tradable today, but just nothing. Nada. I haven't played Diablo 4 or BO7. It looks like a witch hat. It does. It looks like a witch hat, that's for sure. Now we're kind of seeing it do this, kind of a little trend like that. Still underneath daily VWAP, right? I got hung up right then and there. So above daily VWAP, maybe we get a little bit more of a pop. But right now, this is just, it just ain't doing anything. And we need Nvidia. We need the other players to play. Google's coming off. That, you know, if this comes in more, that's going to put pressure on the market. AVGO is coming in a little bit here. Still up on the day. Meta down 2.2%. We have energy as the leading sector. Still looks pretty bullish. Yeah. All right. Pull up my Nvidia chart. I'm just going to continue to watch this one, see if anything sets up. It doesn't look like it will. I'm just going to zoom in more like that. Wow, PA looks PA. What's PA? Yeah, I wouldn't say that this looks incredibly bullish. I mean, it just recently started getting a little bit better. And you can see, what did the SPY do during that time where this started going up? It actually started to find its ground. It just hasn't popped up higher. So if this comes right back down, you know, it's chop. But it's been bearish all day. Oh, price action, duh. That makes sense. But yeah, so I wouldn't consider this really bullish. It just recently crossed to a more bullish context. And since it's been going up, we've been putting in higher lows in the SPY. So that doesn't give it the right to just like fire off like a rocket ship by any means, but we're getting hung up on some of these names, like, right, JPM, it's down at its earnings expected move right down here. Oops, didn't want to fire that off. I don't trade on this account. Come on, what is going on here? What is going on? I don't trade. Oh my goodness. whatever. This is the earnings expected move over here. So we're outside of the earnings expectations right now for JPM. Woo. Doo-doo. Yeah, Nvidia is just pretty bearish looking here. Still breaking down. No lucky for Nvidia. I don't really have an opinion on that, Zed. I mean, I'll watch the bonds, but, you know, I don't really dive into too much of the narratives. I will say just from an intraday perspective, I mean, it looks like it's getting ready to shoot up. We're seeing a series of higher lows. It's getting tighter and tighter. Doesn't look all too bad, right? Above a 5-day moving average. It's inclining. This is just TLT for the proxy. And if I go over here, it's been consolidating. So a break higher might make sense, which means that the 10-year yield will probably come off, right? CGI, let me go over here. This one's been coiling up too. Yeah, LHX. Whoa. Quite the reversal today. Yeah, I'll probably just wait to see how this one plays out. But that's quite the reversal, being at the opened at the highs and now it's at the lows. It's basically unchained on the day, but still not the greatest look. I'm assuming that there was some sort of news that came out, and if it was good news and it reversed, that's not a great sign. $1 billion to get rocket motor maker, Boeing. Pentagon didn't buy common stock, blah, 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 blah. There's some news around it. SPY looks like it's trying to break down into the daily EM still. Being led by Amazon, breaking down to its daily implied move. Broadcom at its daily implied daily volume weighted average price. Meta can't get out of its way. Tesla, new lows on the session. Eli Lilly still going sideways. Walmart doing fine. Nvidia down 20 basis points on the session. Market's taking a breather. A big breather. TKO from the trade ideas, anybody that's in the Discord for TKO, that one played out kind of nice today. So this one, I was looking for like in the 197s and it kind of came right, it actually came into the 197s. Seeing a nice bounce today. So I would be updating your stop loss to the low of the day and or taking partial profits on TKO if you manage to take that same trade that I did. Not too shabby. Probably remove just a little bit here. Nice trade. Yeah, I pulled up crypto. I talked about like CleanSpark, Mara, Hut, Ethereum. A lot of them look good. I mean, I have positions in crypto. I've been kind of getting in that. I have some coin. I have some Solana. Solana trade, SOLZ was in the trade ideas section. That's up 14% since the post, I think, or at least whenever I entered it, which is around this breakout. Yeah, about 14%. I entered a little bit after that breakout. Coin had a nice consolidation and it's kind of trying to break out of its little pocket here too. So if we're trying to find some sort of a bottom there, that'd be great. We'll see if that's the case. Still trying to watch Nvidia for some sort of a move to give some relief to markets. But we're just, there's no, it's just not looking all that great. Keep an eye on it. I'm going to go back to my Fortnite screen. Yeah, CRM, that was a big move. This is the 2 standard deviation move. So CRM is getting kind of cracked right now. Let me go back to the daily time frame because this one I was looking at for a potential move, tightness, and breakout here. But that's a lot of software names are getting just clobbered. This kind of move, it's not the greatest context, but almost like worth just having a mean reverting trade on there. And you start small with like a pilot position and you can just sell it when it bounces. But if I go to like the 15-minute time frame, I mean, look at this. It's been straight down. You're going to get relief in this at some point. We're just kind of cresting. We're just cresting lows. Maybe we close at the lows, right? I wouldn't mind just a 1% position there too. And I've taken like 3 different trades today. Small ones is just mean reverting trades. That's it really. Or the potential for mean reverting. Do I have CRM? Did I do a CRM one? Oh, I think I already did CRM. Yeah, I think I already have a CRM position. Do I have CRM? No, I don't think that's one that I took today. But I will. There. Watch, we'll see how that one plays out. I'll take like a little bit there. This would be just a small enough, so even if we have a 6% move tomorrow, right, it's not gonna hurt my portfolio because it's a small position, but can add some juice with these. A lot of these little entries, a lot of these little trades can add some juice on like a mean reverting day. W day just now hit its 2 standard deviation move. Work day, also just another crappy looking. There's just massive rotation out of this stuff. Not the greatest. I'm gonna go back to Nvidia. I'm just keeping an eye on this for doing something here. Yeah, this looks like it wants to just come in. Go back to market net flow. Losing convergence. Just not a good look. It looks like it's just one of those days. Don't really want to fight this. Meta looks like it died. MicroStrategy was a trade idea. Hasn't really moved anywhere since the trade idea, but it's up. But if this breaks out, right, this could be a big, pop, big move. It's been beaten down, right? If Bitcoin starts to work good, this is like a highly correlated asset to Bitcoin. People forget that. Like if Bitcoin starts finding its feet, you can see MicroStrategy get some relief too. STZ, is that Constellation? Yeah, that was a nice little pop there, especially for this year so far. Doing good. Yeah, Zoom. Adobe's still getting crushed. No, Adobe, no. This is still following that trend lower too. It's just, once again, software names just getting rotated out of. Rotated out of. Give me a second here. Nice bounce on DHR. Oh, thanks, Garce. Did DHR bounce? Oh yeah, nice. And that came up to daily VWAP. To be quite honest, that's typically what I'd probably reduce. Let me see here. What did I get? I think it was a small position though. Right? It was a yeah, it was a tiny position. But that's not a bad move. I mean, it's up, 1.5% since the entry. I'll trim it a little bit just at daily VWAP. There's no point to trim it. Let me see. Let me go back to daily time frame. I'm not gonna bother with the trim. I'll just trim a little bit. Now it's gonna be a really small position, but I'll lock in, I guess, and then I'll just keep a little bit on. Just let it go. That's it's such a small position. Don't matter. But it's a free position now. All right, let's see here. This is not the line that we need to pay attention to. I'm gonna go over to Xbox, play around. Because of Claude co-work announcement. That's a good point. Claude is insane. Cloud, Anthropic, or whatever we call it here. Cloud. I'm the stock guy. Alrighty. I haven't got a victory royale. Maybe I should get one. It'd be good luck for the market. Yeah. Estee Lauder is doing good today. Jeez, boofs. UNH. I haven't seen that one for a minute here. Let's take a look at the UNH. I mean, I can see it getting there. All the moving averages are converging here, so I would like to see it above like 350. The price action is getting tight, and they're all kind of coiling up here. So yeah, we'll probably see a move with the UNH here, probably in the near future. But I would like to see it kind of prove itself before anything. You do have earnings around the corner too, so we'd have to look into like what that might look like for an expected move. Nvidia's been a good short. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it can still go down. It's right now. I mean, it's just really weak here. Let's see what the market's doing. Market looks like it's coming for the daily expected move at this point. I mean, overall, it's only down 17 basis points right now, but for Nvidia, the S&P 500 is down 40 basis points. So Nvidia is actually outperforming the market right now. nat gas. I don't really trade nat gas all too frequently. If I do, it has to be just like the smallest ever, because nat gas to me is it's just too wild for me to trade. But we can pull up a chart on it in a second here. Nvidia breaking lower. I'd imagine SPY's kind of, yeah, just hanging lower here too. Just nothing on Nvidia. No bounce yet. Bet you there's some sort of positive divergence forming here on the 5-minute time frame, though. Watch. I'll show you right now. Go Nvidia. We'll pull up RSI. Not that it matters, but it still would want it above the daily VWAP. That's selected. There you go. I'll move implied range. Well, this is the 1-minute time frame, but you can see how we're putting in a low here, and then we have a positive divergence forming there in the RSI. When it's 1 minute, 5 minute, those don't really matter. I prefer them on the daily time frame, but I guess it's still worth noting. We'll activate this up, and we'll just redraw this out a little bit more here too. Overall, still below VWAP, which looks like it's gearing up to break down lower. We'll see. As I looked away, it started moving. Where's he shooting from? Oh, you little rat. Oh, you other little rat. Whoa. Punks. Green line going down right now for the market net flow is not a great sign here. And it looks like S&P 500 is going for the daily implied move. So came close to it, we bounced up, but now we're kind of coming back in. So we'll see if that holds. And Nvidia looks just like on the precipice of just flushing lower, to be quite frank. The precipice of flushing lower. this. Are you still getting me? I'm playing against all the pros. I stand no chance. Studios. Alright, let's take a look over here in the market. Can't really get anything here today. Just no nothing. Just a drag and a lag. So the cumulative net premiums for calls crossed over the red line again. So once again, just puts it into not the greatest territory here. Come for me. Okay. A little bit all over the place. Funny. Yeah. I'm not even going to try to shoot for him. People flying around everywhere. This guy's over here. Whited him. Uh-oh. That guy has a really good angle on me. No luck there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. All right, we're getting a little bit of a move here on SPY. Is it going to resolve into anything? Probably not. No. See, Nvidia is kind of getting above its trend here, but still, once again, it's below daily VWAP. So All right, we got 5 people left. Not looking all that good with health. That guy up there is really good. Slide down here. There we go. Try to reverse in over there. There's a guy right there. I'm gonna let him go, and I'm gonna try to come over here. Oh my gosh, and here comes a car. I only got 126 bullets, so I can't do much. This guy. Oh, he got out. Lucky little bugger. Look. Oh, shoot. Dang. Oh, no. There's somebody in there. Okay. Let's see. You said gold is getting crushed right now? You know, I'm not... I mean, it's down 40 basis points, you know. I guess maybe intraday if you're just looking at like the minute time frame. You get these lower highs and lower lows. Oh. And then we have silver that's, you know, off the highs. We came back into the weekly implied move and actually have found it as support. So we didn't crack back in there. It came back to lower weekly and then just bounced from there. Go figure, it's like acting in reverse now. Let's go back over to Nvidia. I mean, maybe now with the stop still under here, but it's still under daily VWAP. It's not. I think I got to just pass on it at this point. Trump said Fed share kills every rally. Netflix looks like it actually been setting up for a potential, you know, mean reverting trade. It has earnings around the corner, right? And once again, it's bad context, but you can sometimes, when it has bad context, you got to consider that when you're sizing your positions, right? And how you are aggressive when you update stops or get out of the position and so forth. It does have earnings around the corner, and I don't know what that's going to bring. It's kind of one of those red flag sort of things. So yeah, we might see a pop here, but I don't really like to gamble on earnings. Adobe and CRM are moving. I mean, yeah, they're moving today for sure. This trend line is one that I've been watching. Oop. It's coming back up to that trend line right now. CRM, that was one that I did that little position on. That's, yeah, bouncing a little bit here. It's, I mean, look at it though. You know, it's way outside of, you know, expectations. A lot of these software type of things are. Nothing to really get too crazy excited about, but it's something. It's something. ET something. Amazon tagged its lower implied mover just now. Pull back up Nvidia. I'm just keeping an eye on it. I guess it's better on this chart. If we get some sort of pop in Nvidia, I think it would just kind of come back into these VWAPs. That's about it. I wouldn't be expecting all too much now after what we just said. the... Let's spin a bomb. Do-do-do. Etsy. We can pull up Etsy. That's one name that I haven't seen for a minute. Let me hop on my ride here for a second. Yeah, Etsy has a good, strong start out of the gate for this year, and it's just consolidating. Not too bad of a look here, actually. You know, I was looking at Pinterest too. Pinterest actually, I mean, it looks bad, but you're seeing these higher lows, and it looks like it's kind of building a base here. Could be another one to keep an eye on here. Where did I see? I hear all that up. That's better than me. We need to be in a rocket right now. Take me to the moon. Yeah, so I like the idea for Pinterest. Might actually send this out for a trade idea. But it is getting tight right here. Maybe come back into 30. What about Snap? What's that been up to? Not much, but it is starting to get above these little averages here. It's pulling back a little bit after a strong start. Interesting. Interesting. Guess I'm just happy to have an update on my United States Investing Championship account. Something to be happy about. While the SPY is down 38 basis points. You know, it's not too bad. Shacuse. All right, Nvidia, just go back to your daily VWAP and get above it. Set me up for some sort of a scrap. Jeez. Spine. Ugh, looks horrible. It all just looks so horrible. Oh. got to run away. Hear my baby crying. I need you to step in. SMCI. I'll pull up SMCI. Just intraday or daily? What the? Get in. What? What? I'm just playing against all good people. Apparently, I cut. Oh my goodness. Guy has a beat on everything. Where is he shooting from? Huh. He don't miss. Beep. SMC, I got schnatted on. Let's see. Yes. Yes, I did. It don't look too hot. All of them are. I mean, shoot. I think the only thing holding up this, oops, is the AVGO. Oh man, this guy's coming for me. Little does he know, I know exactly how to escape. Right here. See you later. Right here. Over here. Go like this. Haha. Little sucker. Uh-oh, you didn't see me. No, you didn't see me. All right. Goldman put a $26 on it, a target on it. Looks like INVH is Innovation Homes. What happened here on this day? I have to look into it. SPY just slugging, and then Nvidia is breaking some lows right now too. Oh, sorry, not new lows. Sorry, not new lows. Recent lows. It's a laggard today. Oops. Bye-bye. he's flying towards me. Haha. How did he reload already? Oh my gosh, this guy is good. Alright. Back to markets. Getting some good movement here. Maybe I can do something. Still holding that Google from the dip a few weeks back. No, I don't have any Google. I don't think so, at least. Let me check. Nope. No Google. Yes, no Google. All right, let's take a look here. We got SPY kind of coming back with a little bit of a bounce. Nothing much, but Nvidia is holding everything down. Market net flow, not good. Nvidia is not worthy of anything right now. But you know what's interesting is Nvidia's just lagging it, but semiconductors ETF is still holding up, man. Just talk about rotations and all this stuff. This also looks like a kind of a witch hat that somebody's mentioned earlier. Pops up and then just sits down on its face. Not the greatest look. Not the greatest look at all. Goodbye to you. It's breaking down and never coming back. Today. Remove. Well, I wanted to do something with this. I can't. I just don't have, it's just not doing anything for me. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see some of those other ones that were getting some pretty big 2 standard deviation moves today. We had, let's see what happened to Visa. Visa made a big comeback. That was good. Good comeback there with Visa. That was one that I posted there in the Discord. And we had, what were some other ones? We had Tiger. That was a random one. That's coming back to its 2 standard deviation move, not too far off. We have Pinduoduo, which I don't think is doing still good. That one kind of gapped under its 2 standard deviation move. It's kind of a gappy name. We had CRM, Adobe. It's trying to find a little bit of a feat. Nothing much. Adobe broke its trend here, so not a bad sign. Let me get rid of this RSI. It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. Which other ones? Let's see. SanDisk, yeah, SNDK. This thing is just kind of consolidating up at highs. WDay. All right. Not much. It's a boring day, guys. I think I might just call it a stream. Call it for the day. I ain't got nothing going on. And I don't feel like executing into any of this stuff. It's been fun. It was my first Fortnite and trading stream. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm going to call it quits, and then I'm going to try to make a market brief tonight. I have to run to the doctor, not for me, but for bringing my baby, just for a checkup. And I'll look at, see if there's any other trade ideas that pop up, and I'll try to post them in the Discord if anybody's in there. To that extent, I'm out.